Welcome to the Farm2Table Show Morning Edition, your morning dose of truth, food, and freedom. I'm your host, Ryan. Today, we're cracking open a topic that just might change your breakfast and your health forever. We're talking about eggs, but not just any eggs. We're diving into why local, farm fresh eggs are a game changer and what they reveal about the bigger story of nutrition in America. If you've ever wondered whether locally food really makes a difference, this episode will give you a simple, everyday example of how choosing a local egg over a grocery store egg can be the first step to a better life, one decision at a time. So grab your coffee, let's settle in, and we're going yolk deep in one of the most underrated superfoods, the humble egg. So let's start with a basic question. What's actually in an egg? To the naked eye, all eggs might seem the same. They might look the same. Brown or white shell, same oval shape. Crack it open. There's a yellow yolk and a clear egg white. Easy, right? But here's the truth most people never hear. Not all eggs are created equal. Eggs from a local farm where chickens roam outside, eat a natural diet, and live like birds were meant to live, well, those eggs are fundamentally different from the ones sitting in styrofoam cartons under fluorescent lights at your grocery store. And no, this isn't some foodie hype. This is backed by nutritional science. Multiple studies, including the landmark research from Mother Earth News in 2007, shows that pastured eggs contain, get this, one third less cholesterol, one quarter less saturated fat, two-thirds more vitamin A, two times more omega 3 fatty acids, and three times more vitamin E, and seven times more beta carotene. That's lots of stuff. And that's not just a minor improvement, that's a nutritional leap. So the next time someone says an egg is an egg, you can confidently say, not even close. Let's zoom in on the two main contenders, the industrial egg and the homestead egg. The industrial egg, what you typically find at chain grocery stores, comes from hens that are often confined to cages or massive indoor warehouses or barns. These birds are fed a grain heavy diet laced with additives or medications and never see the sun. Now compare that to the homestead egg, laid by a chicken on a small local farm or a backyard flock. These hens spend their days scratching in the dirt, eating bugs, grasses, weeds, kitchen scraps, and yes, getting sunshine. Real sunshine. The difference in diet and lifestyle changes everything about the egg, from the nutrient density to the taste, the texture, and even the color. You'll often find deep orange yolks in local eggs compared to the pale yellow ones in store bought. That richer color, it's a sign of carotenoids. Carotenoids, boy, I say that one twice. Carotenoids, natural antioxidants your body needs. How about that? It's actually something good for you. Now, the next thing is the taste, of course. Let's talk flavor. If you've ever had a real local egg, you know the difference instantly. It's not subtle, it's rich, it's creamy. The yolk stands tall in the pan, the white holds its shape, and when you bite into it, whether scrambled, fried, poached, or hard boiled, it actually tastes like food. And the sad reality is that most people under 40 have never tasted a truly fresh egg. Their entire food memory is based on industrial products. That's terrible, right? But the moment they try one from a backyard flock or a regenerative farm, it's like they flipping a switch. It's like they say things like, I didn't know eggs could taste like this. Or, why are those yolks so orange? Or this one, did you add butter to your scrambled eggs? Nope, that's just the flavor. Anyway, here's what's powerful about that. Okay. Taste is one of the easiest ways to win people over to local food. It's not a debate, it's an experience. And that's what's powerful about local eggs. They're a gateway food. Much like the chicken's the gateway chicken, the gateway animal for homesteading, well, the egg is a gateway food. If someone's never thought about where their food comes from, if they're skeptical about the benefits of homesteading or buying local, Eggs are the perfect introduction. And why, you may ask? Because eggs are simple. People already eat them. They're not really expensive, although lately they were. They don't require fancy preparation. And when you show someone the difference between a farm fresh egg and a store bought one, you give them a bite sized taste of a better world. It's like showing them a door, and most of the time they walk right through it. Many homesteaders started with a carton of egg at a farmer's market. Others raised 3 hens in the backyard just for fun. And before long, they were growing gardens, buying raw milk, and trading sourdough starter with neighbors. Eggs open the door to the self reliant life. Now we've got to talk about marketing, the lie of natural labels. The industrial food system knows that people are waking up to the difference. That's why you see eggs labeled with all kinds of terms: natural, free range, cage free, even farm fresh. But here's the dirty secret: most of those labels, they mean nothing. Cage free just means the chickens aren't in tiny cages, but they're still crammed in a barn with thousands of other birds. Free range often means they have access to the outdoors, but that could be a tiny door to a concrete pad. And farm fresh, pure marketing, no legal definition. Any egg can say that. If you want to know how the chickens lived, you need to know the farmer or be the farmer. Local eggs come from real people, not marketing teams. And here's this one. I love this: local eggs and local economy. When you buy eggs from a local farm, you're not just feeding your body, you are feeding your local economy. You're supporting a neighbor, not a corporation. You're putting dollars into a regenerative system, not an industrial one. You're helping someone stay on their land, raise their family, and care for animals the right way. And in return, you get a product that's higher quality, more ethical, more sustainable, and more nutrient dense. It's a win 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 win. Man, that's a lot of winning. Never get tired of winning, do we? All right. Now let's talk about cost. Yes, a dozen local eggs might cost 5, 6, even $7, and at one time $2 to $3 at a dozen at the store. And listen, I know prices have been volatile lately, up, down, higher, lower, all that. But before you say that that's too expensive, consider what you're really paying for. Healthier food that nourishes your body, that's a good thing. Ethical treatment of animals, cleaner, safer farming practices, less transportation and packaging, and of course, all important, a relationship with your food source. And most importantly, you're avoiding the hidden cost of cheap food, poor health, pharmaceuticals, and for some environmental damage. And I could say that's probably true. Local eggs might cost more up front, but they save you down the road. It's not overpriced, it's properly priced. And according to some, still very much cheaper than what it costs to raise the egg. Now, here's what you would look for in a local egg. If you're ready to make the switch, here's what you need to look for, folks: deep orange yolks, sign of better nutrition; firm whites, freshness indicator; thick shells, calcium rich diet; diverse egg colors, shows a mixed flock, not a mono breed factory. Ask your farmers what their chickens eat, how often they rotate pasture, and how many eggs they produce. A real farmer will be happy to talk. If you're met with vague answers or no transparency, that's a red flag. I'm going to show you a couple of quick pictures to back this up. All right. Look at that. Look at that. Now, the one on the left right here, that's the yellow. That's the store-bought egg, and that's the farm fresh egg. Just to give you a pretty good example right there of what that looks like and the difference in them. All right. And that's what usually gets people's attention first, is that bright orange yolk right there instead of the yellow. All right. Now we're going to flip this down to another one. All right. And this is after they've been fried. The store-bought's on top and the backyard free range is on the bottom. Up on top, you got that pale yellow. It's kind of stringy. Look at all that. And then down here is that bright orange yolk and how much more solid the egg white is. Pretty big difference right there. That's what I'm saying. So there you go. I'm going to go back to that one. There you go. That's what they look like in the raw after they've been cracked, right? See how, like I said, how orange that is versus how yellow that is. And then same thing fried up. You could even see a difference in the yolk size and how much more the white you have and how orange that is compared to that pale yellow. But anyway, there we go. That's that. So, raising your own eggs. If you want the ultimate egg experience, that's how you do it. Raise your own hens. 3 or 4 chickens in a backyard can provide enough eggs for a small family. They'll eat chicken scraps, they control bugs, produce compostable manure, and give you a daily connection to your food source. Plus, there's something sacred about gathering your own eggs. It's a daily reminder that food isn't born in a box. It's grown, it's natured, it's earned. And your kids, they'll never forget it. Chickens teach responsibility, rhythm, and respect for life. It's the smallest homestead move with the bigger payoff. I'll get back to that question here in just a minute, and maybe somebody in chat can answer it as well. Scotty. Let's zoom out for a moment, as this isn't just about eggs. It's about reclaiming your plate, one bite at a time. It's about realizing the small choices add up, that better food leads to better health, and better health leads to better freedom. In a world where food is controlled by a handful of corporations, every local egg is a vote for independence. Every yolk is a protest. Every carton is a declaration that I will not settle for fake food. You don't need to overhaul your whole life overnight. You just need to start. And eggs, that's a perfect place. So here's your challenge this week. Find a local egg, eat it, compare it, share it. Post, tell it about it. They even go further, buy a dozen for someone who's never tried them. Start the conversation. Because when you change your egg, you change your mind. When you taste the difference, you can't go back. And when enough people make that switch, the whole system shifts. Okay, and this is why we push this. It's why we keep peeling back and looking at real food. So stay yolky, stay local, stay free. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. A few things over in the comments over there. Hello, Scotty started off right at the bat with yuck. LOL. Yeah, I agree. I know this was a lot for other people. Local is always fresher for your store eggs. You never know what you're getting. That's right. Well, good morning, Joy Bartlett. Good morning, Scotty. Good morning, Rebecca Touch by Yarn. Good morning, Cody. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. And Abe Rosie, and all the way from the Philippines, made his safe travels over there yesterday. Got in yesterday evening, and so settling in, I'm sure, trying to get the body clock adjusted. So, what's the difference between organic eggs from regular eggs, and how can a consumer tell without being duped? Um, Honestly, I mean, if they're in the store, um, you're still running. I mean, if it's not sourced at a store outside of the chains and outside of the boxes, you get some of these farm direct stores, farm hubs, that type of thing. Then you're getting into, chances are you're getting eggs from more local producers. But now there is a visual difference. I didn't take a picture. I didn't get a picture downloaded of the uh, of a standard white egg, but it's just a white oval egg, and most of them are smaller. If you get into an organic or a free range, chicken backyard, they typically tend to be a little bit bigger. Um, they have a certain color to them. Most of them are brown. I mean, you can get them multicolored. They'll come out. You'll get browns, and of course, if you got the Easter eggers, they may have some blue hint to them, and they might be speckled and stuff. And they're going to be typically a bigger egg, you know, than that anyway. So it's really kind of you kind of got to look at the egg. If they're all uniform and they're all kind of basic, whether they're bigger or smaller, or brown or white, it doesn't matter. If they're all kind of uniform and they're real, they got a certain look to them. That's one of the biggest telltales that they came out of a breeder operation where they select through the eggs. Breeders have a guide, photographic guide on the wall. And they look at the eggs and the shape and the color, and everything has to be there, and it has to meet the company's criteria. So that's why so much of your eggs look the same when you open the carton. There's a dozen or 18 or whatever, and they all look the same. And that's marketing, but that's what they want. And so if you get into you open up a carton or a box, you go get some farm fresh eggs from somebody, and you open them up. There's usually a variance in the sizes, the shapes are a little different, and like I said, there'll be just differences in the eggshell itself. Plus, the eggshell is going to be thicker. It's not going to be as thin and lightweight, so it's usually got a better nutrient dense thing on the shell. So that's really kind of the best thing that a person can look at there. So I hope that answered that question, and hope people learn from that. So hope everybody's doing well this morning, bro. I hope you're getting rested at least, or beginning to kind of feel like it's normal. I know it's your evening time over there. Uh, and yes, as Keith said, hashtag think outside the big box store, buy local. That is the answer to that. So, folks, have you all been wearing your flotation devices and getting a little bit wet? Because I'll promise you, it has been raining, raining, raining. I've got water standing everywhere, and expecting more for the next day and a half, 2 days. So, hopefully, sunshine this weekend. And speaking of weather, let's go check in with our good friend Jack with the Redneck Weather Report. All right, here we go. We're going to share that. Let's scroll back up here and make sure y'all can see that. All right, there we go. And all right, boom.
Well, good morning, Rednecks. It is 55 degrees this morning, May the 1st, 2025. Got a 6-mile-an-hour southern wind, making it feel like it's still 55 degrees. We're going to get to 75 today. God bless y'all. We'll see you again tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Jack. Like that coffee mug you got there, Jack. That's a good looking coffee mug. Um, it was one that we gave away up at 10 Killer, and Jack got to win that one. So anyway, glad to see him using it. Anyway, yeah, rainy, cool, and that's it. And it is May Day. It's May 1st. That's right. So we're on a whole new month. Hard to believe it's May already. But anyway, so uh, shifting away from the eggs for a little while, let's get into. Hey, good morning, Ed Kirkpatrick. Glad to see you in this morning, brother. I hope all is well out in your neck of the woods, and doing well out there. Anyway, we're going to go right on into this morning's homestead hack. Some of you may have tried this, some of you may not have. I've heard of different ways of doing. Joy Bartlett says her driveway is a river. I've got one spot, and I got one spot, but it's kind of water heavy. But yeah, I think a lot of people are experiencing that right now, Joy. I tell you what, that rain's been so heavy everywhere. But anyway, let's get into the homestead hack. Grow potatoes in laundry baskets. That's right. Grow your potatoes in a laundry basket. Here, it's a portable potato patch, if you think about it like that. And here's how it works. Line an old laundry basket with straw or newspaper. Add a few inches of soil. Plant your seed potatoes and keep layering soil as they grow. When it's time to harvest, just dump the basket. Pro tip, it's great for small spaces or patio gardens. Had never thought about doing that. I'll have to admit that's a new one for me. I've seen the bag of potatoes, and I've seen the towers and the potato towers, and I even I've tried various things. I made some mistakes, which is part of it. Uh, but old laundry baskets. I never thought. So there's your one to try, folks. And if you have tried something like that, let us know. Leave it in the bloop bloop comments, or if you're in here and chat. But now I see Bartender. So we're trying this year. All right, cool. Let us know how that works out, and welcome in. Let us know how that works out. I'm curious. I am so far behind. I'm maybe just maybe this weekend and a couple of days of sunshine. Uh, Jack reminds me of Johnny Gillum with that hat. For everyone has a favorite hat they wear for certain things. That's his for Redneck Weather Report. Yes, it is. And one of these days you'll have to get him to tell you the story, Scotty, about that hat. It's an old hat. He's had it forever. It goes back, and he anyway. Yeah, that's a special hat, and that's what he wears it for. He actually said his numbers on viewership drop down when he doesn't have that hat on. I don't know. But anyway, and there it is. Well, let's go on to the quote of the day. Um, and that is goes right in with, as always, with what we were talking about. A true friend is someone who thinks that you are a good egg, even though he knows that you are slightly cracked. Bernard Meltzer said that. Anyway, credit to that. True friend is someone who thinks that you are a good egg, even though he knows that you are slightly cracked. Hmm. Could be some truth in that one, folks. Could be some truth in that one. Oh man, I tell you what, it is into the busy season. Here we go. Mid America YouTube Meetup, Lake Eufaula State Park, Deep Fork Campground Pavilion, to where the Nature Center's at. It's the only one where it's at, May 16th through the 18th. MT Homestead is the host. MTHomesteadOK at gmail.com, or you can find it on Facebook, Mid America YouTube Meetup. Mike and Terry from MT Homestead are the host, like I said, and there's others working with them. But it's looking like that could be another good one, just like 10 Killer was. Fifth annual Shed Farm Homestead Festival, May 17th in Garland, Kansas. Uh, Very funny, Scotty. I like that. That's why I'm with all of you. Hello. Yes, we all love each other and care for each other, even with our little quirks and cracks, you might say. But anyway, the Shed Farm Homestead Festival. Was checking their page out the other day. They're having all kinds of stuff going on. You can even pick up compost there. They've got it is truly a farm homestead festival. Truly a farm festival. They got a looks like it'll be a good time for somebody up there in Garland, Kansas. June 6th and 7th, the Homestead Festival, Hardison Mills, near Columbia, Tennessee. That's Roy Feek's event down on his ranch. Super good lineup, entertainment. Looks like it'll be a real good time. Modern Homesteading Conference, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, June 27th through 28th. Modernhomesteading.com. It's where you can find more information out about that, as well as they are on Facebook. And that's another great event out in the West for those who may be out in that direction. September, and I know there's a couple of other smaller ones. There's one down in Kentucky that Money Pit Homestead was telling us about yesterday. And then there's one, Southern Indiana's having one. There's stuff popping up all over the place. But um, September 5th and 6th, the Ozarks Homesteading Expo, Marshfield, Missouri. Good morning, Brother Kane. How are you today, my good friend? Good to see you in here. Ozarks Homesteading Expo, September 5th and 6th, Marshfield, Missouri. Super looking forward to that one. It'll be our first one of the fall, and traveling up there. And it is a knockout event. The lineup is great. The environment, just everything there, the vendors. It is just an awesome expo, and looking forward to being back up there again this year. Um, and of course, then Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, September 26th and 27th at the Southeast Expo Center in McAllister, Oklahoma. That again is shaping up to be a big one, and it is getting bigger and better, more and more and more popping up on uh, as far as presenters and vendors and all of that. And I know our good friend Kane Riggs there, him and his folks are planning on being there with the ladies selling their candles and the men selling their knives. And let me tell you, folks, those are some really nice knives, custom made. They are good looking stuff. I'll have to get a picture up for and show y'all one day. But anyway, so that's just some of the stuff that you'll be able to find at Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, things like that go to support a good cause. But anyway, and then rounding out the season, Homesteaders of America Conference, October 10th and 11th, Front Royal, Virginia, the granddaddy of them all, the one that got us started, and a lineup that is second to none. John Lovell with Warrior Poet Society, uh, uh, Nick Freitas, John Moody, of course, Amy Field, who's the founder and originator, starter of that, the Salatons, Daniel and Joel, Shauna Beth Dougherty, Anacita Scott. The list goes on and on. It is incredible. Great one right there to round that up. And that is all for I've got for the events. So plenty of going on, and I know there's plenty I probably don't know about, and that's okay. Can't get them all, and if I find out about them and I can remember to put them in, uh, I'll get them on the list. But so keep your eyes out locally. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, like I said, that never makes it into my thing. And talking about events, there was that event in Waco, Texas, the Homestead Conference in Waco, Texas, that happened the same weekend as Ten Killer. Got reports back that their first year of the event, there was over 2,000 attendees. So knocked it out of the park. Good for them. And they're already making plans for next year. So, that's always a good thing when we have something positive come out of that. And so that event is probably going to be on the event there in the future. It's the Plowshare Institute, and is who put that on, and some others. But anyway, it was a good event. And so anyway, that's that for events. And that is also a wrap for today on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us as we strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that like button, give us the old thumbs up, share it with your friends. Absolutely, please tell people about us. Subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. Remember, we are hashtag stronger together. You're seeing it in the chat there. And yeah, hashtag think outside the big box store, shop local, and a few other hashtags I've seen popping up in there. Anyway, be a blessing to someone, and we will see you all on the other side. And yes, Cody, here comes Hank.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.